Good afternoon. I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas day. It is Boxing Day. We are taking on Leicester away at the King Power Stadium today with no Callum Wilson. So the lineup is Nick Pope in goal, Fabian Schär and Sven Botman partner up again at centre half, with Kieran Trippier out on the right and Dan Burn out on the left, with Bruno Guimaraes, Sean Longstaff and Joe Linton taking the middle, I believe, with Miggy Almiron, Chris Wood and Joe Willock starting out on that left hand side. I imagine we'll probably see him interchanging with Joe Linton as we usually do. Not something that's worked, if we're completely honest, but Eddie Howe seems to stick with that. I imagine Maxi could potentially come off the bench. No Callum Wilson, as I said. Chris Wood leading the line. Callum Wilson apparently out with a illness. It doesn't seem to be anything more than that. Nothing more sinister has been mentioned. However, obviously we won't know, I imagine, until after the game. Another blow. Jonjo Shelvey out for 6 to 8 weeks with a calf injury. The kid just can't get any luck, and I imagine we could be seeing the very last season of Jonjo Shelvey at Newcastle United, because we certainly have to strengthen in January if we want to keep up the momentum that we have and push on for European places, which I think we don't have any other option than to do right now. Obviously Newcastle fans would be over the moon with us finishing inside the top 10. I know we would, but we've had that little glimmer of hope, haven't we? That little taste of potential European football, and obviously we want to push on to that. We're in our 16th game in the league, not even halfway through the season yet. And a win could take us second today. That's right, second, as Manchester City don't play until later. Or even, when do they kick off? Is it today? Or do they play a little bit later today? Or do they play tomorrow? Either way, we can go second for a minute amount of time. Should, even if Manchester City lose, obviously they will have 2 games in hand over us. Leicester also with a strong side today, minus James Maddison. Leicester line up as follows: no James Maddison. Many people may have expected that. Some may have expected him to come back into the fold. There are talks behind the scenes that a deal is close. Does that have anything to do with him playing today? Probably not. But I'm sure the conspiracy theorists, myself included, might be hoping that that's got something to do with it. This is their line. We have Ward in goal, Castagna and Marty and Faze, Thomas to finish up that back line. It'll be interesting to see how Newcastle United fare today without Callum Wilson. We've been a flatter side with Chris Wood at the helm. However, I do believe that's because we've not played to his strengths, and by that I mean sometimes we have to hit the unpretty long balls into him to be able to hold the ball up and bring the wingers into play. We haven't done that when he's been playing lately. Hopefully that's something that we can do today. I imagine that we'll keep possession as we have done in the previous games. We've been very, 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 very good in possession. We just haven't done enough of it with it in the final third, and obviously that's something that's going to be difficult today without Callum Wilson. That being said, I am going for a 3-1 win to Newcastle United away at the King Power Stadium. Eddie Howe's Mags taking second place for a minute amount of time, pushing on for Champions League. Let's see how it goes. Also, get yourself over to Newcastle Fans TV for the rest of our content. We'll have Lee at the game today. We'll have the match reaction, scoring the players, and the last word, all from him. Should be a fantastic day for Newcastle, hopefully. Premier League football is back. Cannot wait. How are the lads?